What's going on, everyone? I am TST's the Mudman, and today we're going to discuss 3 nice decks that perform well at Mythic Rank without breaking the bank. All 3 of the decks that we're going to discuss will be less than $69. And here's the way the video is going to go. I'm going to pull up a deck list. The first one will be Nature. We're going to break down the list, talk about why it's good, then check out some gameplay footage from my most recent stream, and rinse and repeat for the other 2 gods. So let's jump right into Nature. Alright, so let's check out our first deck. This is an aggressive mid-range Nature deck. As you can see, it costs 0.0201 ETH, which is right around $65 USD at this very moment. And the first thing you'll notice is this deck looks very similar to like your normal pay-to-win, weekend ranked, really great Nature deck. Of course, it's missing the super expensive cards like Pyramid Wardens and Chirons and Avatars of Natures and Selenas. But your game plan is generally the same. You have some really strong early game creatures, your Marsh Walkers, your Black Jaguars, your Wild Hogs, and you got your 1 copy of Mythic Infiltrator, which is just super good in the meta right now, super good if you're a budget player. It's obviously great at countering Pyramid Wardens, as the card art would imply, but it's also great at destroying your opponents, like Marsh Walkers, their Cursed Obelisks, even your opponents like Skeleton Heavy or like a Warmonger Smith. So you're like, so one of your 2 attack creatures like your Wild Hog can kill it. It's also super good against like All-Seeing Spire. Mythic Infiltrator is just a nice, real high tempo card. You can buff those guys up with your low-hanging fruit. Get some apples on the board, take some value trades, buff up your boys. Then we've got some of the staple 2-mana removal cards with your Canopy Barrage and your Flame Blade. No Underbrush Borers because it is a budget deck, but I didn't seem to have much issue with just your Mythic Infiltrators, your Flame Blades, and Canopy Barrages for early game removal. Got your Celestial Stags, fairly cheap card, really solid, decent stats. Bless is great for these like aggressive early curve decks, and then getting random resources always strong. Lightning Strike, super obvious, single target removal. Rabid Bear is like nice, solid tempo creature. Worst case scenario, it's a Hunt Warden. If you're okay with it being confused, it being a 4/4 is really really strong. Starving Sabertooth, right in the same boat as Rabid Bear, just a good sized creature for its stats. Its Frenzy effect sometimes matters. Usually it's just a big Wetlands Ogre with upside. It's a very, very solid card. We've got 1 copy of Wildfire in here, not because Wildfire is bad, but because it's sort of expensive. Initially I had 2 copies of Wildfire in here, but it broke the bank. We hit over $69. And if I had to pick between 2 Wildfires or 2 Falling Stars, I would definitely go 2 Falling Stars because of the way Falling Stars build you a board if you have no board. It doesn't give things regen, of course, but building a board from nothing is way more important than just buffing an existing board, in my opinion. Brazen Moose, super cheap, super big. He's easy. Veil Warden Minotaur, sort of like your, I guess you can call it your budget, like Avatar of War. Just a decently static creature. Got a little bit of healing, a little bit of card generation. He's just, a solid creature to trade with and maintain your life total against, your aggressive war opponents. Got the Pangolin. He's just high impact 6-mana card. Has a ton of threat value with the 6 attack. He has the Blitz. He has the armor, so he's hard to remove. And the last card is the Hunt, which is relatively self-explanatory. It's a great comeback mechanic. It can destroy your opponent's like single big high impact Demogorgon, or it can clear your war nature opponent's entire board. It's just super duper strong. And I guess it's important to note this is our most expensive deck of the video at roughly $65. But it is super strong. Let's jump into the gameplay footage so you guys can see it in action. Ooh, magic. Could be tough. Low-hanging fruit's good at popping wards. That's about it. This is much better. So it's like a rule that I always have low-hanging fruit in my opening hand no matter what I do. I'm not like against it, it's a good 1-mana card, it's just weird. Alright, no relic removal, so he has that forever. This is going to kill an All-Seeing Spire, so we're not going to just play it for tempo. Broad Servant might be decent. There's no way Broad Servant costs very much money. Oh, he's going off. You went face. That's the worst thing. I didn't want him to be confused. I wanted to kill that. It's very sad. This never lives anyway. It always eats a Star Shard Bolt or a Tracking Bolt, right? Star Shard Bolt would be like pretty bad for me. He could kill both my big creatures. He's got that. Hit me with the Spire, dude. Come on. Interesting. So that's gonna kill him, right? No problem. This is gonna have 1 health at the end of the turn. So I can't kill with low-hanging fruit. It's not how it works. You go for the protected. Interesting. And then illuminate here. Okay, that's fair. Wow. Okay, let's see if we can kill you. Damn it. Alright. Fort Mir's dead. We have 3 creatures on the board. Double Falling Star. ST Numbers, thank you for the follow. What's going on? Also, Fearless. Thanks for the follow. Hope you guys are having a great day. Oh, Aldous with the raid. Yo, I didn't see that. Yo, thanks, Aldous. Sorry it took me so long to see it. Dark mode makes it really hard to see. It's barely highlighted. Yo, I hope you had a great stream. Appreciate the raid. Oh, what we've all been waiting for. But we can't Minosian and Falling Star. Ugh. The Falling Star is still great. This does die. It does. Super weak to a Crystal Rain, but look at all this face damage. Nice. Snag the Rune of Fire. It's the best card in the Sanctum. So what do you guys think? Can we dodge it? Dodge the Crystal Rain? Dodge the Street Conjurer Tracking Bolt? Ooh. He can still Street Conjurer Tracking Bolt. Oh, he's not doing it. Is he killing nothing? No. No way he's killing nothing. Okay, he does get to kill the big bear. Alright, so the obvious thing is if I Falling Star again, the apple can kill the familiar. And I get to potentially deal 12 damage to his face. Alternatively, I could just kill it with Rune of Fire. Definitely do the one that almost kills him. So if they all go face, it's 16 damage. But he can buy the Rune of Healing. I think we killed the familiar. Everyone went face? Okay. If I knew they were all gonna go face, I would have sent the apple face. Have you ever seen that? They all listened? Ridiculous. Oh, here comes the clear. Get me! Get me! Nope, he's desperate. Gets the Rune of Healing. This guy's acting like he's a little dead. Yo, what's up, Zepster? How's it going? That seems helpful. I think that could be helpful. Alright, team. Only one of the big ones has to go face. Just one of you. Horrible job. Everyone hates you. Great job. Let's see if you want to do it. Oh, yeah. The biggest badger is the smartest badger. Success. Alright, so our next budget deck is this aggressive war deck. It costs 0.018 ETH, which is roughly $58 as of right now. This deck uses the Slayer God power. It's extremely aggressive, and it was also super strong, really fun to run. Let's see. Oh, I guess one thing that's important to note, if you want to play War and you don't have $58, this deck runs Grand Hall. Grand Hall costs like $25, so if you don't have Grand Hall but you have everything else, like this card's like half the budget. That being said, I think Grand Hall is super good in this deck, but, you know, it's just a single card. You could remove it, and it drops the price down exponentially. But let's talk about this deck a bit. So this is an aggressive deck, as you can tell from the curve. A lot of cheap stuff, only one 6-mana card. We've got some nice, strong early game creatures. Got your Blood Boil Outlaw for a little early game snowball stuff. Let's see, we've got our Tavern Brawler in here to like control the board with its you know, Blitz. Blitz is super strong in war decks, whether it be budget or pay to win. We've got like some decent like high tempo early game creatures. Obviously, we have Skeleton Heavy in here. This just has big stats. We discussed the Minosian Infiltrator when we were talking about nature. Just like in nature, it's super good in war. Most every deck at Mythic Rank has Pyramid Wardens. This kills Pyramid Wardens. You know, like we said with nature, it gets rid of Curse Obelisks. It gets rid of Marshwalkers. It's just really good. We've got the Trial Spirit, which is really great for, you know, increasing the health of your Axewoman or your Tavern Brawler, so you can get, you know, better value trades off their Blitz. Then we got Athenian Archer, which is just like a nice, like, high-tempo, one-mana creature. Gets his body in play, deals a little bit of damage to your opponent's creature, could pop some ward if necessary. You know, you want a lot of early curve creatures to make use of your buff cards. As you can see, we've got one copy of Red Fume Serum, as well as 2 copies of Another Round, with the idea of playing lots of creatures in the early game, at least one of them living, and then buffing them up and, you know, capitalizing on that board state. We've also got cards like Battle Artisan, only one Battle Artisan. If you do remove the Grand Hall, I would recommend throwing in a second Battle Artisan. Just like with the Celestial Stag, it's just a very solid creature. 3-mana 3/3 is not bad. Blessed is great in these you know, early curve decks, and you know, him generating you random relics could be really convenient for like when you transition to just go and face. Blade of Sticks, like your budget Scythe the Harvest, really great for killing your nature opponents like Black Jaguars and stuff, and since nature is the most popular god, you'll be running into nature all the time. Thundercaller is just a very decent 3-mana creature. If you activate the Frenzy the turn you play it, which is fairly easy to do when you have so many 1- and 2-mana creatures, you know, he comes down as a 3-mana 4/4 that just grows. 3-mana 4/4s are big, and we like those. We talked about Another Round a little bit. It's pretty self-explanatory. You put it on a creature, and then they're bigger. Grand Hall is, I think, like one of the keys of this deck, though. So, like I said before, nature's the most popular god. So you're going to be playing against a lot of nature. Nature decks are generally aggressive, mid-rangey decks. So you're going to be like fairly even on the board against, you know, in that matchup, probably even on life total as well. Grand Hall will be a frontline creature that protects all of your other creatures, so your opponent has to deal with the Grand Hall first, but it also buffs up all your creatures so they either trade better or deal more damage than they would have. And then the Leech makes it so like you're no longer even on health. It's a huge swing turn in your favor for like whenever you're playing against like Tempo Nature or Light or even like Tempo Magic. When they're chipping away at you slowly trying to kill you, and then you play Grand Hall, make your board bigger, and like completely deny their ability to kill you. It's just super, super strong. Grand Hall is a really great war card. Longship is self-explanatory. It's got Blitz. It has pretty high health. It's great for value trades. You're a Tempo deck, and Tempo decks love value trading. The same is true for Orcish Elite, but to an even greater extent, because Orcish Elite is super strong. Kills Pyramid Wardens, kills 2 Black Jaguars. It's just good. Red Fume Serum, just like another round, but more expensive. Slightly bigger buff. You play tons and tons of creatures, so you should have something on the board to buff on turn 4 or 5, and then dish out tons of damage. Our last war-themed card is the Soul Survivor, which fills a similar role to Nature's The Hunt. It's your only AoE board clear if you fall behind. It also buffs up one of your creatures, and just like we've been saying with all the other buff cards, you play a ton of creatures, so something's going to be alive for you to Soul Survivor. And when you can Soul Survivor a creature, it's usually pretty good. Let's see, anything in the neutral column we haven't talked about? We didn't talk about Guild Enforcer. Guild Enforcer has good stats. He's a decent-sized creature. He protects your other guys. He's really good to be buffed because he has the armor in the front line. And then like a fun little synergy is the burn from the Red Fume Serum doesn't affect Guild Enforcer, so he's he's a tough customer, that's for sure. So now that we've broken down the deck a bit, let's check out the gameplay footage. Oh, it's of Storms, Monolith of Storms. That card costs 20. It costs 30 bones. So yeah, that's half the budget almost. That's rough. Those are like friends, sort of. This is like really good. Okay, we'll take this. Yo, thanks for hanging out, Tugs McBoat. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Alright, so let's play the cards. So we have 2 creatures, so his stupid stuff is not accurate. Oh, pixies? Whoa! Miss. Yes! Murder. Murder. He's got pixies, which means he's Amazons. So similar to the light game, we're going to have to do a lot of trading. Especially if the cards say Amazon on top of them. Yeah, it says Amazon. We're going to kill that. Although it is challenging. We can't really do it. Just picked up 6 favor. We're going to go face. He is going to take the value trade on this creature, most likely. And that means this just keeps not dying, so joke's on him. Oh, pay to win, son of a gun. Well, it's not ideal. I mean, the 2 Guild Enforcers will be cool, don't get me wrong. But, like, right now, it's just horrible. At least my Bronze Servant can test this thing pretty well. Still can test this thing very well. I don't know why. Like, yeah, sure. Cool idea. Ooh. That's so tempting. Oh, it makes my turn so bad. I can't play it. What a bummer. Oh, he be buffing. It's one eager archer. Yeah, she's trying. Moderately scary, moderately scary. Yeah, I think I just do it again. Seems like a decent trade. I'm going to save the Archer for when he takes the 5-1 or the card charge from the Sanctum. This is also intimidating. Alright, Grand Hall, we're going to need you this game for sure. We lose these? I don't know. We're 1 Grand Hall away from greatness. Oh, another one of these things. Damn, that's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. But same shit, 1 Grand Hall away from greatness. Damn it. Alright. He has 1 card left. It's that one. So once again, 1 Grand Hall away from greatness. Damn it. Never Grand Hall. I don't want to draw him stuff, but everything else is worthless. But it's another opportunity for Grand Hall. So I should have waited on that attack. Didn't get Grand Hall. Let's be greedy. Make him God Power, make him hit it. Right into the wind-up roller. Oh, he hit it! Damn! The 1 and 3. So good. The wind-up roller changes everything. It means he doesn't kill the relic. Oh, devastating. Okay, he still would have killed the relic. You're a mystic, yeah? Grand Hall. It buffed 1 creature. Is it enough? This one says Amazon, but this one has 3 attack. Fuck yeah, Grand Hall. Made it back in time for the big finish. Hell yeah, G-Rasher, thanks for the bits. Who am I kidding? Pixies never win? I don't know, he's doing something here. He's gaming all of a sudden. We can deal 6, 9, 11 damage. Not lethal, and all of these have flank. All of them do. It's really not lethal. Let me count again. 7, 9, 11. Not lethal. Not lethal at all. It's extremely sad. Take a little bit more of the damage off the board. Keep chipping away. Maybe could have taken a trade there. Nah, it's fine. Finian Fruit Bear. This deck's cool. Thanks for the life, dude. Remember when I almost died? And now Gentleman's 50-50. I deserve this one. I deserve that. I lost the last one. This was well deserved. GG. Great job, Grand Hall. That's exactly like I thought it would go. Alright, now we have our final deck, which is Aggressive Deception. This deck clocks in at 0.0189 ETH, which costs right around $60 as of right now. And this deck is, very similar to your, pay-to-win aggro deception deck. Of course, we've replaced the Pyramid Wardens with Skeleton Heavies. We can't have cards like Orfeo because he's more than $69 on his own, but he's not the biggest deal. One card that we didn't include that is a big deal is the Hollow. The Hollow is like a huge value generator for these aggressive deception decks. It also pairs really nicely with your Lantern-Bound Fae, Shackled Acolytes, and Patient Pickpocket. So if you own a Hollow, throw it in here. But if you want to keep it under $69, the Hollow is a bit too expensive. And although the Hollow is great, this is an aggressive deck, so we can forego some of the value generation in favor of just going face and getting them dead. So let's jump into the list. So we've got some strong early game creatures. Your Skeleton Heavies, your Switch Duelists, your Armor Lurkers, Shackled Acolyte's a bit slow but big for 2 mana. And all those creatures you can buff up with Dark Knives to deal lots and lots of damage in the early game. Dark Knives is also a nice combination with Vanguard Axwoman to get like a nice trade up into an opposing Overgrown Rhino or something to that extent. Makeshift Shiv is good for early game tempo. Gets you lots of favor so you can control the Sanctum. It also picks apart some of your opposing players early game little creatures. Let's see, we got the Patient Pickpocket in here. He's not much of a tempo card, but he is some good value. Gets you a card from your opponent's hand so you know what's going on in there, as well as some bonus resources. Piercing Bolt, we learned from Tempo Magic. 1 mana cards that deal 2 damage are good. And Nature is really popular, so Pangolins run around. They have armor. Guild Enforcers are quite popular. They have armor. So the secondary ability of removing a creature's armor with the Piercing Bolt is fairly relevant, and if something doesn't have armor, then it's just 1 mana, 2 damage, which is, pretty decent. I've got Hunting Trap in here, just great early game removal, especially against Nature, and like we've been saying, Nature's the most popular god, and, they've got Overgrown Rhinos, they have Black Jaguars, they have Pangolins, lots of creatures with more equal attack to health, so Hunting Trap is just, a really great removal spell. Let's see, we've got Counterfeit in here, which, is really, really strong in the meta. Occasionally you're going to run into a deck that doesn't have relics in it, and that's when it's going to be, more famine than feast. But relics are really common in the meta, except for Deception. Pretty much every god runs relics. And if you can destroy your opponent's relic and take it, that's like a game-winning tempo swing. If you can take your opponent's Necroscepter, their Skull Scepter, or their Khopesh, or their Palace's Wand, or their Scepter of Artistry, it's just, a huge game-winning tempo swing for 3 mana. Let's see, we got the Lady Marcella in here. Decent stats. The little deadly rogue skulkers that she makes are convenient for defeating your opponent's, big creatures or just gaining lots of favor. And the downside of the deadly skulkers that she summons for your opponent is mitigated by your hidden creatures, not being targetable, as well as your God Power, Orfeo's Distraction, as well as cards like Makeshift Shiv. Got the Ludia's Decadent in here, just like Celestial Stag, just like Battle Artisan. These 3 mana 3/3s with Bless are just really solid for these tempo decks. Helps you control the Sanctum. Like I said in the beginning of this deck discussion, we don't have the Hollow in here, so we're a little low on value generating cards. But Ludia's Decadent definitely helps fill that niche of getting more stuff to play. Let's see, you got the Surprise Delivery in here, which is mainly just in here because this is an aggressive deck. It goes face a lot, and this deals 3 damage. It deals 6 damage. It also fills up your opponent's board a bit, so if you're playing against a Zooey Nature deck, you might deny them some, Badgers from their Falling Star or something to that effect. Uncanny Rogue is just a really solid creature. His stats are super decent for a 4-drop, and he might give something like your Patient Pickpocket or your Vanguard Axwoman Deadly, which can be, which can make for a really high impact trade up situation. Let's see, we talked about Lantern-Bound Fae a little bit. It's definitely weaker without the Hollow in the deck, so it's going to be harder to get those infinite loops of Lantern-Bound Fae and turn bounce it back to your hand. But Lantern-Bound Fae is still decent. It's got fairly good stats. Dealing 3 damage to whatever source you want is pretty good, and you should be able to bounce it back to your hand at least once for some bonus damage. Let's see, for the neutral cards, Axwoman's obvious. We discussed Pyramid Warden. Guild Enforcer is in here. Not only is he just, decent stats for a 5-mana creature, but his armor makes it so you can cheat him with Orfeo's Distraction, as many times as you want. So you can just sort of, send him face to race your opponent, dealing increments of 3 damage at a time. He's also really strong with, 1 or both of your Dark Knives. If you equip a Dark Knives to him, he's a 6 attack creature that you can Orpheo's Distraction every turn and really race your opponent. So, yeah, now that we've discussed the deck, let's check out the gameplay footage. Oh, Metal Gear, but this time as death. Oh. Could have looked for other stuff, but I'm pretty confident in my ability to steal his Necroscepter. Patient Pickpocket's gonna get me a Cursed Obelisk, and then Counterfeit's gonna get me a Necroscepter, and then I will be the zombie death. Well, he's Pippin and Necroscepter, right? It's the best move. Way better than Cursed Obelisk. Use the Pip. Oh, he's going Cursed Obelisk. Okay, he's crazy. Another Counterfeit, you say? We'll murder that. And then we'll murder you. And we are so ready. We'll take both. I can't believe this card's an epic and it's $1.80. This card's broken. This card's so OP. My hand's a bit lackluster at the moment. I'm not super stoked on that. But we're ready. We got a lot of stuff going on. Sure. Let's start with that. See what he loses. Fickle Cambion, that's a good loss. Let's establish that. We could have full clear, but I don't really care about him having one creature. That doesn't seem very scary to me. Alright, what happened? Another Fickle Cambion? Okay, tough guy. This is the most damage. This is the best card. This gets me the most favor. I'm gonna just play this with the intention of getting at least 9 more favor next turn. And then being able to buy something good. Would you just play a Necroscepter already? Come on. I'm gonna just play him for tempo, make this thing a little threatening. Just a little threatening. You promise not to say anything funny? I think the funny adds to the video. Drider Sail Weaver or Wetlands Ogre for light. It's a tough call. Drider Sail Weaver has more advantage in the sense that he's better to, he's more flexible to canonize with, and he's, infinitely better for Radiant Dawning. But he does get murdered by, he gets murdered by Axewoman. I totally forgot what we were even talking about for a second. Still Blight Bombable, a little scary. But we're doing big damage. I can't believe he hasn't Necrosepting. I was so ready for the Necroceptor. So ready. Hungry for it, in fact. Starving, you could say. Whatever. Whatever. God Power? This guy does love the God Power for no reason. It's been his thing. He's really enjoyed it. War with Canonize is great for sure. Yeah, it's like super good. Let's draw a card. More deadly? Oh, I can't play it. Now I don't float mana. Thank you. Guy loves to God Power. Hey, you! Did you know that subscribing to the TST YouTube channel will increase your win rate by 6.9%? So what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. And while you're at it, equip Scythe of the Harvest and attack the like button directly in the face. Bye-bye!